Hello ladies and welcome back to Tickle Darling. My name is Olivia. This wrap tutorial is part of my Colors of Love series. This is the wrap I wore on Wednesday, the Illuminated Love wrap. This wrap is kind of heavy. I'll put it out there at the beginning. It's kind of heavy. Over the years I've built up my tolerance for heaviness of wraps, but I will say that this one is one of the heavier ones, and just like we all have those shoes that we rate when we're putting them on, we go, I'm gonna get about 2 to 3 hours out of this pair. I can wear this pair for 6 to 8 hours, and this pair 30 minutes to an hour tops. Well, this one I'm going to give it an hour rating of 2 to 3. That is for me. I'm built up my tolerance level for weight on my head, so it doesn't affect me as much. It may be too heavy for some of you, and I will try to come up with a different set of scarves to give this a similar look without all the excess bulk after I'm completed. After I've completed my series of wraps for Colors of Love. Excuse me, my goodness, allergies are killing me today. So for this one, I'm using 2 cranberries. Yep, I did say it, 2 cranberries. The one I'm using is the olive with this brown on the back. And since our colors for Illuminated Love are gold and brown, I'm going to be using the reverse side, this coppery brown color. It is quite pretty when wrapped. And then I'm going to be using my favorite, absolute favorite, which is the saffron. It's got this beautiful golden color on the back, and then this darker gold saffron color on the front. And then a third scarf, yes, if that wasn't heavy enough, we're adding a shimmery in this great bright gold. So I start off every wrap with my shaper. Here's my Wendy. I'm wearing the blonde one today. My favorite one is my black one because it's the oldest and it fits just perfect. I've popped just enough stitches in the band to make it just fit like a glove. It's kind of crazy, but that one is my favorite. But you'd see it underneath this wrap, so I put on the blonde, and then I'm going to start out first scarf, the saffron. I'm keeping it open, and I want to have one. I love this border in the front. I typically try to avoid seeing the stitch line, but I haven't figured out how to get the entire border without seeing the stitch line. So I'm just going to work with it. I'm placing it so that I have the scarf up to the very, very front, and I'm not angling it. I know, right? Crazy? Olivia loves angles. She's always angling, but this one, no angles. I'm scrunching it up, the short end, the long end. I am absolutely not tying a knot in either of my cranberries. Isn't happening. It's too bulky in the back. It's heavy enough. I do not need to create that pressure point right at the base of my skull and give myself a headache. Now, next, shimmery. This one I'm just going to bunch up, just, it doesn't matter. You're only seeing the tails. Placing it on my head, back here. One long, one short. And I'm just got this one I will tie because it'll help keep the cranberry on. Just a quick tie in the back. Okay, so we have that. So here's our little fringy bits. This came a little loose, don't worry about it. Okay, so my 2 long tails so far right here. Now for my second cranberry, I'm turning it so that the brown is on the outside. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to lay it on my head. I'm going to try to have the front to here and have the short tail over this side and the long tail with the other long tails. Okay. Okay. You could have it further back to see more, but I like it right about here. Okay, again, I'm gathering up in the back. I'm going to spin around. I'll show you what it looks like as I crisscross this. Okay. Okay. So, all right. Now, this one, I am going to pull the olive brown one. I'm going to hold it aside, and I'm just going to stuff it inside of my shirt at the shoulder for a little bit of holding. Since there's not many knots in here, it can get a little loose at the end, a little wonky, but just with a little bit of continued pressure, it keeps everything locked in place. All right. For the twist, when I do the twist, it's going to be very loose and open. Now, when I did it the other day, I filmed myself doing it so that I could recreate it as close as possible. Every time I recreate a twist, it looks slightly different. And it's the same thing with the roses, because you can't get exactly the same placement every single time, because I'm not a machine. I do my best to give it to you as natural as possible. So if it looks a little different, it's probably because scarf placement, or I've done more than one time, so I've done little cheats, or I figured out ways of making it look nicer. At the end of this, I will put the cut of me wrapping it this style for the first time, just as a bonus to show you that it doesn't always go perfectly for me. I sit and pluck and do little tweakings and things, and still sometimes, like when I turned around, I noticed there was this big bulging bubble at the back that that day I wrapped this, I didn't mess with it, but I'm hoping today when I'm finished, that big bulge in the back, the bubble, will not be there. So it'll be just something for you to giggle at and see that I'm human and I totally make mistakes too. So I hope you guys will enjoy that part. But for this, getting back to the wrap, because I'm extra rambly and chatty today, I'm making sure that the olive is on the inside. And the same here. I'm making sure that light color is on the inside, because I really like the saffron color. And when I'm rolling it up, I'm folding it in like so. Trying to get it tubular. So kind of like looks like this. And the same for the brown. We're gonna get more tubular. All right, so I'm going to start. I like to twist backwards. I'm not doing my normal really tight twist where I twist opposite directions. So if I were twisting backwards, I would twist each scarf forward just to lock it in place. This is not, I don't want to do that because I want it to be able to move a little bit when I wrap it up. So as you can see, just very loose, very loose, very loose. Okay. And when I bring it up, I will be able to, you can see it gives that, oh my gosh, amazing, twisty, so many colors look. So I'm really pleased with the way this turned out. This is amazing. Okay, so I get to this point, and that piece of the cranberry that I've tucked into my shirt, this brown and olive one, I'm pulling it out, and I'm taking it and wrapping around beginner's luck style my twisty piece, and I'm pulling. Okay, now I am not pleased with the way the knot is, so I'm going to pull it back out, and I'm going to make sure that there are no fringes inside of, or showing on the outside of my knot. I don't want that. It could be pretty for another look, but this is too put together for that. So again, I pull it through all the way, and then I have this piece here, which is fine. I like to bring it over the top, and I will tilt my head behind the twisty crown piece, and tuck it under there. And I'm going to pull up a little bit. Again, this is really, really not a light scarf, so we have our pieces, our tails here, just kind of hanging. Okay, so here's our little gold piece. Now we've got this guy just hanging out on this side. And when I started doing this, I was like, well, what can I do with it to showcase the color? So I brought it up, and I did a light weaving around the twists. Like so. And then when I get to this point, I just pulled it through and just let it hang down. Now, when I did this the other day, this is a fine example of how the style changes slightly because of experience or scarf placement. When I did this the other day, this tail was very, very short, and you only saw the little fringes at the top. And this piece was slightly longer. I did realize that I really, really enjoyed this being slightly longer. Now, if you want the same kind of only slightly fringy piece here, simply take it around one more time and bring the tails through. So you get that look. Now, again, it's all personal preference. Now this piece has loosened up a little bit, so I'm going to find it, and I'm going to give it a good hard pull because it's loosened up. Or I could just pull it out and redo it with the other tail. You can see, here's our tail. Tie again. Pull out just slightly. Okay, and tuck. And here you have it. This is the Illuminated Love. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know this one's a bit long. Some of them are a little bit long because I get chatty, or the scarf is working with it. I try not to edit too much because I want to give you the real feel of me creating each of these wraps. So I hope you ladies enjoy. Have a wonderful day. Bye.